Welcome back to the Gavel. The House of Representatives Committee on Federal Capital Territory is investigating alleged irregularities surrounding the Centenary project, which was launched by the President Goodluck Jonathan administration. However, there have been allegations that the allocation of land to the developer of the project did not follow due process. But the investigative hearing has thrown up some issues, as the former secretary to the government of the Federation, Senator Anyim Pius Anyim, at the hearing accused the chairman of the committee, Representative Hembe, of pursuing a personal agenda with the hearing. Now let's go back to that event. It's a packed hearing room in the House of Representatives filled with former government officials, federal lawmakers, contractors and concerned Nigerians. They are invited to this investigative hearing organized by the House of Representatives Committee on the Federal Capital Territory, which is probing allegations of irregularities in the Centenary City project. The Centenary City project was initiated in 2014 by the administration of President Goodluck Jonathan and was projected to stimulate foreign and domestic investment. However, there have been allegations that the allocation of land to the developer of the project did not follow due process. But the investigative hearing got off on a shaky start when the former secretary to the government of the Federation made his presentation.
Mr. Chairman, I want to put it to you that you have personal motives, and I will state the two motives clearly. One, you have told everybody that cared to listen that when the former Director General of Securities and Exchange Commission accused you of demanding bribe from her, you pushed for her sack.
Point of order.
And I refused to sack her as Secretary to Government.
Point of order. Point of order.
And so,
Hold on.
He was cut short midway.
Mr. Chairman, I decided to use the platform.
Then allowed to continue.
Mr. Chairman, we only discovered your game plan for the postponement when you started sending messages to the managing director to come and see you privately. It was after all your efforts to get the managing director to come and see you privately failed that you confirmed this date. I want you to know that nobody will see you privately, and we are here for the hearing.
Good.
We'll have the hearing.
Good.
Mr. Chairman, honorable members of the committee, distinguished senators, ladies and gentlemen, I am convinced that Mr. Chairman has a deep-seated personal interest and bias in this matter. And so he is not in a position to guarantee fair hearing to myself, to the Centenary City management, and indeed to the entire subject matter. I accordingly demand that Mr. Chairman should disqualify himself.
My ruling here is that I am going to preside over this public hearing, and this public hearing will continue. I so rule.
With calm restored, the hearing continued. The committee members were briefed by those summoned that the Centenary City project, comprising 1,267 hectares of land, is owned by two companies, namely Basic Start Company Limited and Company First Limited. But with allegations of bias by the chairman of the committee, who has refused to stand down, there are questions bordering on the credibility of the entire exercise. We spoke to a federal lawmaker and two public analysts to get their reactions to the allegations made by the former secretary to the government of the Federation at the public hearing.
I think I would have appreciated the former Senate president, who happened to have been one of those that have done well while he was at the Senate. He knows the rule, the study rule of the House and of the Senate. Let them do their investigation. So after doing the investigation, if you found that things are not being done right, you have the Apple right to challenge. Or, nobody is saying that you have done this or you have done that. Just, this is an investigation, ongoing investigation. And I am very disappointed. I'm highly, disappointed, and this is disheartening. I don't expect to hear this kind of statement coming from a distinguished senator. At least he was the head of this institution at the time. When the investigation is ongoing, your duty is to respond to questions that are being asked. It's not taking side.
Well, for me, hearing the former Senate President and SGF make such very direct accusations and allegations against a committee chairman holding a public hearing in the legislature, I think it is very, very serious, and it is something for which the committee chairman and indeed the entire committee need to come out strongly to present an alternative narrative to clear themselves, because it was an accusation directly in the face of the committee. And so the expectation is that they must formally respond to that. And I also expect that they should, if their hands are clean and they have any dignity left in them, that is enough defamation of character, which should be the anchor of a course of action for a very huge suit in court for defamation of character. Okay? So I had expected that if he has said such a thing and it's not true, that writs of summons and court proceedings should start. And of course, they should hold him accountable to be able to establish what he alleged. But then the way it was said and the brazeness and straight looking at somebody in the face somehow makes one to believe that there may be an iota or element of truth in that kind of allegation until the contrary is established from the other quarters. But there are also some points of view that personally, well, the committee is about to investigate what they consider had gone wrong under the watch of the former SGF, and he is now using it as an opportunity, instead of allowing the committee to settle down to do the job for the day, to now put them in the dock or in the box by making such an allegation.
Whether any public hearing you see, most of it is a failure of oversight. Okay, so that the National Assembly does not do a conscientious oversight is why you can even have the Centenary City scandal that is playing out right now. If for any reason the SGF, former SGF, just getting out of office, will be defending the public theft of 1,200 plots of land under any guise. Where was the House Committee? Where was the Senate House Committee when they couldn't find out that companies that had no enough, that didn't qualify to even bid for that kind of, make a bid for that kind of number of plot of land, acquired that number of plot of land? Where were they when they didn't know that people were displaced for that to happen? Where is the Attorney General? Where is the Office of the Attorney General? Who cleared the Centenary City, process? Who gave the go-ahead? Who says that it is legitimate? Who has cleared it? So this collusion is so deep, And what offense, if you ask me, is the pretension that something is being done, and that's what worries me more. That pretension that look, a problem is being solved. If somebody of the caliber of a former secretary to the federal government, former chairman will not address the issue, because they casting the slur on the chairman of the panel is distracting from the real issues. The real issue is that there are issues about misappropriation or abuse of office, in my view. And that you do not have integrity is meant to completely deflate from the accusation. So when I talk about citizens, it is for journalists, it is for investigative journalists, it is for civil society actors to begin to beam the searchlight and remove. There is no problem in putting both Pius and Hembe on the spot. The institutions of state, the security agencies must invite them and take it away from the two of them.
Now, this is where we draw the curtains on this week's edition of The Gavel. If you have any views on any of the issues discussed, please email us on thegavel@channelstv.com. Thank you for staying with us, and see you again next week.